Nigeria is an artificial invention created by British colonialists for their own convenience. A whole bunch of tribes and regions were squashed together under one roof. And ever since that happened, there have been endless, passionate debates about whether we should accept this deal the British forced on us, or whether we should all go our separate ways. And we don't even know how many ways that might be. We just go north and south, or 6 different geopolitical zones, or there's any number of permutations, right, that could lead to Nigeria disintegrating into 2 or more countries. Okay? Yeah, this debate has been ongoing. My own parents in the 1960s during the Civil War were staunch supporters of Biafra, and there are still people in southeast Nigeria who believe in Biafra. Then there are people in the north who are into Sharia law. They would like to live in a country that's completely governed by Islamic principles. And then there are people, Yorubas, who adherents of this whole Oduduwa Republic thing, who would like Yorubas to be their own different country. I'm sure in the Middle Belt there are people who want a Middle Belt Republic, and certainly where I come from, in the oil-producing Niger Delta, there are people who will be delighted if we can have our own thing and cut out people who come from non-oil producing areas to collect oil revenue and oil wells and all this. So for a whole bunch of economic, religious, and other reasons, quite a few Nigerians who would like to see Nigeria grind to a halt.
I believe Nigeria has to split, or Nigeria has to go back into regionalism. Ideally, don't split, but go back into regionalism, because the way Nigeria is set up right now just does not work. I'm being honest with you. Nigeria is set up to support numbers, support your location, and if you are a northerner, as you can see, the north, I'm from the south, I'm a southerner. If you are from the north, you're most likely Muslim, and the way Nigeria is built to support religion and numbers, and the north have both. If you are from the south, the chances of you becoming the president of Nigeria is forgotten. I, as an Ibibio man from Akwa Ibom State, but I can never become president of Nigeria. I can never even become a top-ranking member of office, because I am from the southern part of Nigeria, and I'm But I'm going to say this even more. You see, a lot of the mess people hear about Nigeria typically comes from the north, from the terrorism to the illiteracy to the poverty. It's from the north. I'm going to go I'll make a deeper video on this, but let me show you guys some. So this is how Nigeria is set up. You see, there's a southwest there, there's a south-south, and there's a southeast. That's the southern part of Nigeria. And if you look at the north, right, from north central to northwest to northeast, that's the bulk of Nigeria. Nigeria has 230 million people. The north has 60% of 230 million people, guys. Nigeria has 230 million people. The north has more than 60% of that number. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. If you take Nigeria and you split the south and the north, the southern part of Nigeria automatically becomes one of the best African countries. I'm telling you. I'm not saying Nigeria should split. I like Nigeria as it is on paper, because the numbers give us an advantage. The GDP as a collective gives us an advantage. However, we most definitely have to go back into regionalism so that people can have more autonomy over their regions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because right now Nigeria doesn't work. If you are not a northerner and you're not Muslim, forget it. Nigeria is built to support your religion, Muslim, Islam, and support numbers, the north. That's why if you look at Nigeria, most of our presidents have been from the north. Let me show you more things. If you look further into these details, you will see northern Nigeria is facing a raft of problems. It is economically disadvantaged compared to the rest of the country. That's a lie. The north of Nigeria is not economically disadvantaged. The north has about 43 minerals, solid minerals, that are of commercial value. There is gold in the north. There is even oil in the north. There is every single commercial mineral you can find in the world. It's in the northern part of Nigeria. But the thing is this, the northern leaders, the northern elites want to focus on oil and gas in the south. And the northern elites deliberately keep the northerners poor and hungry because they're easier to control. They don't want to develop the north, because if you develop the north, the people cannot be your zombies anymore. So they keep them hungry, they keep them angry, they keep them poor, they keep them ignorant, so that they're easier to control. This is what's going on in the northern part of Nigeria. This is it. This is the truth. So what I want to share with the global community is this: the bulk of the mess you hear about Nigeria comes from the northern part of Nigeria, from the poverty to the violence to the terrorism to the child marriages to the just the chaos. Most of it comes from the north. I'm not saying the south is perfect, absolutely not. But I'm telling you, if you separate the northern part of Nigeria right now and you separate the south, I kid you not, the southern part of Nigeria automatically becomes one of the best countries in Nigeria. Because of the way Nigeria is set up, the average southerner can never get into leadership position because they're not a lot and because they're not Muslim. So this is how Nigeria is set up. Nigeria is set up to favor the northern part of Nigeria because they have more numbers and because they're Muslim. That's it. This is why Nigeria is chaotic. So most southerners now are calling for separation. Most southerners now are calling for regionalism because, dude, we are not going to leave the hand of our country in some guy who doesn't even know what it means to be educated. We're not going to give the future of our country and our location in the hands of somebody who probably doesn't understand the essence of, collaboration. It makes no sense. So that's why for me personally, as a southerner, I absolutely support regionalization. I support regionalism because it makes the most sense for my people. It makes the most sense for my state. I don't think, while I appreciate Nigeria and I think Nigeria needs to stay together, but we need to stay together as a confederacy. A federation does not work. Because what we have currently as a federation is a few people from the north deciding what happens for everybody else, and you have not even developed your region. How can you be in leadership position in Nigeria for over 2 decades and the north is still one of the most underdeveloped places in the world, in Nigeria, in Africa?
This message now for the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today na the day when we say the woman when give birth to your children, when they look up to today, na the day when she dey serve God. And this message comes from the lineage of Christ. Look at me, I'm a traditional person. I was born in a lineage of Christ. I'm a Christian by birth and I'm a traditional person by blood. See, if you know you have the power to share this country, like by letting the north go on their own way, let the south go their own way, it will help you. Why I'm saying this? When the eye cry, the nose also feel it. It's not a joke. If you ignore it, the eye will cry and the nose will feel it. You think you are a Muslim. When the trumpet sounds, the trumpet of the war that will happen in this country, a silent war that will be more dangerous than the one people are seeing, shouting, they think they have seen anything. No one has seen anything yet. When the trumpet sounds, this trumpet of a silent war sound, you will feel it. Nobody will be able to leave this country. Even if you have private jets, you will wonder why you will not be able to move. It will affect everybody. This war is against the South. This war is against the South. As I'm saying this, I have a flesh in me, but there is spirit in me. I was forced to say it because if I did not say it out, I will face the consequences. I'm facing the consequences and also allow my people to go down more than the way I'm saying is the same thing. If you love your own children, because like I say, even if you have a private jet, you will not be able to move. They will track you down. I am saying this from the spiritual world. Something that will happen in real life. Save your country. I know the people don't love you. I know 90% of people don't love you, but this is not about country. You cannot rule yourself alone when the people are down. Let the south go to their home, and let the north go back to their home. If not, the water that touch the eye will flow and find itself around the mouth and the nose. This particular message is for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Republic of Nigeria. I have said it. I pray to Almighty God. May you see it and understand language, because you are an old man. And old people, when you tell them they have words, they use their own sense to complete it. This is my message. I did not create content today. I did not create this particular message as a content. It's a message of something that will happen. I don't know if it is possible to separate what is called South from North. Separate South from North. Separate South from North. Separate South from North. If not, from now till like 10 years time, the person that have this prophecy when he was a president will remember and regret it, even if he's not around anymore. The people that are supposed to advise him to do it will regret, because everybody will go down. End time is coming to the country called Nigeria. End time is coming to the country called Nigeria. And this end time, human being like you and I will use their own hand to work the end time to come to pass. A message, a message, a message. Not for one state, but for the whole country. A message.
I told you, and all of you know, that Northerners are really a problem of this country called Nigeria. Hausa people and Fulani people are real danger and the problems we are facing in this country. Recent happenings in Kwara State, Nigeria's security system, they caught some bandits with government official cars, government official halos. They were caught and interrogated, and they said, I quote, that Kwara State government are the ones sponsoring them. That Kwara State government are the ones giving them AK-47 rifle. That Kwara State government are the one providing halos vans for their movement. One major general came out publicly and said that Northerners are the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. Even Danjuma also confirmed that Northern security agencies collude and facilitate the movement of these bandits. The former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, says that we paid 80 billions for bandits to stop killing. The former governor of Kano State, Kwankwaso, opened his mouth and says in national television that they brought in Alemajiris to rig Jonathan out, and they also import Fulanis from other countries into Nigeria in order to force Goodluck Jonathan out. Sheku Gumi also came out publicly in national television and said that bandits are our sons. We know them. Nobody should kill them. Government don't use force on them. Negotiate on them. If you use force on them, they will escalate. Negotiate with them. When Nigerian security agencies arrested 1,267 terrorists during Buhari's regime, Buhari commanded Nigerian security agencies to rehabilitate them. Do not kill them, just rehabilitate them. There are almost all the leaks going on in this country concerning Vice President of Nigeria on his road to Boko Haram when he was governor in Borno State. Former governor of Zamfara State, his role in bandits in Zamfara State. Former CBN deputy governor, I've forgotten his name, came out and said that Northerners are the one sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. And recent happenings in Kwara State, where bandits were caught, and they say that Kwara State are the ones sponsoring them. So Nigeria, do you need any other person to tell you that Northerners are the ones sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? They are the ones sponsoring killings in Nigeria. This is what they do to Jonathan. 2 years before the 2015 election, they organized and kidnapped Chibok girls, and terrorism was intensified in the country just to push Jonathan out. And Buhari came out on national television and said, and I quote, "I will make Nigeria ungovernable if Jonathan come back as Nigerian president." In all these points, we are still waiting for somebody to convince you that northern regions are really sponsors of insecurity in Nigeria. And Abacha says, that I quote, "Any insecurity that stays more than 48 hours, the government knows about it." So Northerners, Fulanis, and Hausas are really the problem of this country. Now, 2 years before 2027 election, they have started kidnapping schoolgirls again. The same tactics they used during Goodluck Jonathan. If I were Tinubu, I would just divide this country. As long as we still cohabit with these people, Nigeria can never move forward. As long as Nigeria still cohabit with Northerners, Nigeria can never, ever move forward. The best thing in this country is to divide Nigeria. Let Northerners go with their Boko Harams. Let them go with their Al-Qaeda. Let them go with their Ansaru. Let them go with their bandits. Let them go with their kidnappers. Let them go with their terrorism. Let them go with their killings. Let them go with their unconscious human beings. Let them go with their wickedness, heartless, and brutality. The people that consider themselves born to rule, while others are here to serve them. Very wicked, heartless, selfish, dangerous, and murderers. People that we don't have anything in common to do with them. Our language is different, dressing different, food different, culture different, music different, religion different. Everything is different. They bring us together with these barbarians, these killers of human life, and call us one Nigeria. And they continue to keep Nigeria in perpetual bondage and perpetual captivity. Tinubu, with all these informations, with all this evidence, why can't you just divide this country? Let Northerners carry their terrorism and go, and allow us to develop our legions in peace. Any good policy, they will reject it. Any good policy, they will reject it. Any good policy, they will reject it. Divide this country. Let them carry their terrorism and religion and go. Let us have peace in the south and develop our region within 2 years. As long as we keep cohabiting with these people, Nigeria will never, ever develop. Take it or leave it. Northerners are really the problem of this country. Northern leaders, both their governors, their emirs, and all their leaders are responsible for insecurity happening in this country called Nigeria. And any day, the indigenous people of Hausas stand up to their responsibility and say no to Fulani genocide in this country, Fulanis will put into their place, because definitely Fulanis are the problem of this country. The only day, any day, the indigenous people of Hausas will stand up and say enough is enough, then all this problem will be put to a stop. Take it or leave it. Northern Nigeria are the sponsors of insecurity in this country. Thank you and God bless you.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. The Southern Nigerians continue to talk about division of Nigeria and regional government because of the excesses of the North. Because it's getting to them already, it's getting on their nerves already, and they can no longer keep quiet about it. And that's the reason why they are saying that enough is enough, that we need to either go back to regional government or we divide the country so that everybody can be on their own, because the North are stepping more or showing more than they can, or biting more than they can chew already, that they are getting tired of the excesses of the North and the fact that the North wants to kind of lord over the South and act as a gatekeeper of Nigeria. It's not making any sense, and in the real sense, they are the one keeping this country stagnated and making this country not to move or have any headway forward, like other countries are doing around the world. And so the South are getting tired of this whole thing, and come to think of it, the complaints and the displeasure of the Southerners is understandable here, because the North has not done anything to develop its region, in spite of the power they've wielded for so many years since the coming of Nigeria. All they do is just to hold on to power without doing anything. They instead use power to impoverish their people, and by extension impoverish the whole of Nigeria and Africa anytime a northerner becomes the president or a northerner is ruling. They don't do anything to better the lives of Nigerians and the lives of their people, and that's the reason why the poverty rate in the North is robbing on the South, and by extension robbing all over Africa, and making Nigeria to be disrespected and to be denigrated across the world, because nothing is the number of people who are living in poverty is definitely going to rub off the Southerners who are doing well on their own and who are trying to ensure that they develop their area. The North knows nothing about development, and the major problem we're having in this country, of course, you see that the insecurity ravaging this country now is coming from the North. And you see anything that you see that has to do with making the country stagnated, the idea always comes from these people. Look at the case of Sharia law they are trying to implement all over the whole country now. It's coming from the North. What is Sharia law going to do to advance our country today? Of course, we know it's not going to do anything to advance it. Rather, it's going to make it stagnated, and it's going to make the country too rigid. And that's the reason why Nigerians are saying that they don't want this law, but these people are trying to enforce it on Nigerians. They want to enforce it on another part of the country, and it's not making sense. And that's the reason why we cannot trust these people with power again. And that's the reason why Southerners are standing up to say that they want their own region, they want regional government, so that everybody can be on their own, or we divide. So this is the way to go, because it's better they call out this whole thing now than saying, okay, let's be tolerant, and in the end you see that the country becomes destroyed by the excesses of these people. So of course this is the right thing to do. Regional government, or everybody goes their separate way, is the best mantra, and is the best thing that everybody should be saying now, because I also subscribe to this whole ideology, and that's my thought on this. Kindly drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.